Welcome, it's Domain Dave again from CheapWineFinder.com with a wine in the Thanksgiving vein. What do I got here? Let me grab the bottle. I should remember. I just wrote an article about it, but it's the Heartleaf Rosé wine from California, a vintage 2020 from Trader Joe's. It's one of the few new wines in Trader Joe's. The whole on-time delivery thing isn't on time anymore, so we got to take what we can get sometimes. And this is a rosé from a wine specialty producer, where he makes store brands and for restaurants, and they've done other wines for Trader Joe's, and they're out in Napa Valley, and it's a winemaker who knows people, and he comes up with grapes and he makes wine, and usually they're pretty good. I put a link in the review on the cheapwinefinder.com where you can find out who made it. Not that you'll know, because it's a inside thing. It's a store brand maker. But I'm going to take a sip. This is an adult rosé. It's not, sometimes they're all kind of cheery and sweet and everything. This one is a little bit different. It's $5.99. Now, the last few Trader Joe's wines we did happen to be sold in New York wine shops. Certain ones are. Not all of them. I don't really know why yet, but typically in the retail wine shop, the wines that sell at Trader Joe's are 40 to 50% more expensive in a retail shop, which means this $5.99 rosé might be a $9, $10, $11 wine if you're going to go down the road and not go to Trader Joe's to pick it up. Though you can't go down the road because it's only a Trader Joe's. And one thing about inexpensive wines that a lot of people don't get is that in Europe, when people drink wine with lunch and with dinner, they're not spending $14 for a bottle of wine. They're not spending $24. They're spending 3 or 4 euros. What this is they're drinking the equivalent of this $5.99 California rosé every day, and they like their wines. You don't need to spend a fortune, and this wine is kind of made. It's got good structure. It's got it's not the most delicious wine in the world, but it's got good structure, and sometimes wines only reach their peak when you're having them with food. I mean, if they're too sweet, too flavorful, sometimes you lose that when you start, you pair it with something, you kind of not get it. And some of these wines that are a little harder edge just are perfectly balanced when you eat a bite of something and wash it down. It's one of the odd things about wine. Certain wines for certain times. California wines are usually drink them up and don't worry about the food. If you have food, good. But if you don't, probably it's going to happen more often. Where European wines, they kind of figure you're going to have something to eat. They have another sip. I mean, I said it's not like delicious, but that's not saying it doesn't taste good. Just that the structure is there that would make it pair well. And it would go well with Thanksgiving. Turkey is not the most bold meat there is. It's kind of mild, so you don't want a wine that will overpower it, and this will go well. It is red grapes. Red grapes is rosé, and so you're going to get some of those fruit flavors, though there is lemons and grapefruit and that other kind of citrusy things going on here. It's got excellent acidity, especially when you're pairing it with food. So it would go. I mean, it would do its job. It would cleanse the palate. It would add some flavors to what's going on, because usually at Thanksgiving dinner there is some sort of harvest thing going on, usually some sticky, gooey things too. It's a feast, you got to have that. But it would be a wine that would cleanse the palate, kind of enhance what's going on and not overpower anything. It's not going to be, it's going to complement the meal, not be the highlight of the meal. For a $5.99 rosé, what can you do? You know, it's like, hey, that's the way it's supposed to be. I'll take another sip. Like I'm saying, it's not delicious. I'm just going to sip, and that's that. I might not pick this one, but I'm on my third sip, so maybe I would. Yeah, it's well made. It's got good structure. It hits the mouth right. It engages your palate. You can feel the wine in different areas of your mouth. For $5.99, that's pretty good. You know, it's inexpensive wines are really, really good nowadays. And like I said, this is probably a $10, $11 wine in reality. If it wasn't at a Trader Joe's, it were on a store shelf, though it made for Trader Joe's, so it wouldn't be on a store shelf. But there you go. So this is a good wine. And if you're looking for something just to offer on Thanksgiving, or 2 days before Thanksgiving, or 3 days after Thanksgiving, it's a food wine, and it's going to be crisp, it's going to be clean, and it's going to, if you have the right flavors going on, and you don't have too bold of flavors in the meal, this will do the job. It looks great. It's kind of a very clear, very clean wine. Whoever made it knew what they were doing. So that's it for me. It's a $5.99 rosé that is adult, and it pairs with food. It's like, what else can you ask for? Let's see what else we got. A couple coming up. I'm going to have affordable luxury wine, and another not too inexpensive, but not too expensive Pinot Noir. And see, like us where you like your podcasts. And I'll be talking to everybody. Keep it cheap. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And I'll be talking to you. Bye-bye.